and sleeve. So we're just gonna start off with collar and sleeve, just right here. Basically my feet are on Philip's hips, okay? I have his collar and I have his sleeve right here, okay? Preferably I want one arm on the inside here. And what I'm doing is I'm managing the distance and how much pressure I'm applying to his hips, which is just enough, as I've tried to explain this to Aaron and to Deidre, who drive ambulances. You're not gonna floor it every time with a patient in the back, and let's say the gurney isn't all the way strapped in, and you're not gonna hit the brake as hard as you can, because that person back there is gonna be like a pinball. So whenever you're playing open guard, your feet should go like, just like this, okay? You need to be able to just apply enough pressure to be able to have connectivity so your hips can move. And in this collar and sleeve, collar, right hand, sleeve, I want to threaten him with one arm inside because it triggers reactions. But I really want to keep pulling him in, and my right knee should be pushing in his shoulder, because I anticipate his right arm to be pulling out, okay? From here, all I'm gonna do is, yes, so you get the collar and sleeve, he's pulling, I'm pulling, my hip is coming up, and I'm kind of pinching here. As he's pulling, his left hand will go on the mat. I'll tilt this way, and I'm gonna put my foot in his bicep here, okay? As you see, still collar and sleeve guard. As I lift my hip, my right leg goes across, my right heel goes to the left knee, and you cross the triangle. From here, I'm gonna lift the hip, push this arm across in the pocket, grab his head here, and I'm gonna crunch. Triangles are not this. That's arm lock. So if I have this arm, yes, I would do that, because I have to extend it. So whenever you need to extend a joint, you're gonna hip it inside. Okay? From here, I close that gate right there so that he can't pull his arm across. Grab the head, and I'm gonna crunch and finish. Okay? So once again, we're gonna just start off with collar and sleeve. Front on hip, and then I'll show you guys how to get into it, okay? From here, I need to be able to move my hips and threaten this arm, so my hips extend here. He's gonna pull that arm, and tilt a little bit to the right, hips to the right. I'm gonna put my foot in that bicep right there, and I'm going to, see how my hips come up? So that I can begin to pull him in, and my right heel goes to my left knee as I lock this first. Next thing what I do is I can lift my hip, but I already have it locked, so I don't have to grab the head. If you don't have it locked, you need to grab the head. Lift the hip, bring this arm all the way across, lock the gate here, and finish the triangle. So one more time. Collar and sleeve guard. Everybody should be able to do this, but if you notice, I'm not pushing him all the way away, but at the same time, my lower back has to be able to move. How do we get into collar and sleeve guard? Is this. I have a hand in the collar. He's got to defend with his hand. This should be deep enough for 50% of the choke. To know whether or not you have your right hand deep enough, you should be able to finish the next choke. That's how you know this right hand is deep enough. That's how you know you can control the posture. Pulling, pushing. If it's here, there's too much slack. So it's got to be nurtured here. When this is 50%, he's probably going to give attention to the remaining 50%. I grab the elbow here, push the hip away, foot on the hip. Here, I can switch right here. Here's collar and sleeve guard. Okay? You need that here. Collar and sleeve guard here. I tilt this way here because his hand is going to be, yes, right there. As I push that bicep here, lift the hip with my left foot as the step. As I turn my head to the right, the way I do this is this foot is moving across. So it's really this leg moving him this way as my right hand is pushing him this way and my head swings that way so that my right heel can go to the left knee. I immediately lock it. I'm gonna lift my hip, bring this across here, the head, lock it, and finish. Simple collar and sleeve guard. So the way that you get into collar and sleeve, we'll go into this later, is basically half a choke. Here, I grab the elbow, and look, maybe I didn't want collar and sleeve guard. Maybe I wanted the scissors. But still, this hand is still in the same collar as you go here. And then you put his head into your shoulder. So whether you go for scissor sweep or collar sleeve guard, the grips are still the same. That's why those two are very important, because off a failed scissor sweep, you go into collar sleeve, feet on the hips, okay? So one important thing that I just want you guys to do is make sure you always have one arm in. As we're here, it's hard for me to grab this sleeve here. It's easier for me to grab the elbow when you're starting here, okay? Ideally, I want to wind up here, okay? Because if I get here and I just scoot my hip out here, I have a good pull. Here it's not as good of a pull, but it's okay. So I want to have this sleeve here with the right knee pushing into his shoulder just enough, and this just pinching just enough. Because as his left arm begins to try to work, I begin to kick it away here and finish here, okay? This way. So as we're here, lift the hip, push this all the way across, and push this in the pocket right there. As you lock that gate with your right elbow, hand on the head, crunch, finish. Or you can also give and grip your knee, which makes it even tighter. Okay? And evidently, you'll see that he will. Okay, let's try it. 1, 2, 3.